Hi everyone and welcome to episode 6 of Relegation Rescue at Augsburg with me, the United City FM. So just before we get into this particular episode, if you haven't quite been following the Rolling in the Isles series, my Journeyman series, just tomorrow to let you know that tomorrow evening, on Thursday evening of this week, we're going to be starting a brand new club in a brand new league in a brand new country. So if you were looking for a point to jump in on that series, now might be the good point to do it. So yeah, join me for tomorrow evening's reveal and we'll have a look at the new club and see what challenges lie ahead for us with it. But that's for tomorrow. Today we are back in Augsburg in our relegation rescue. We found them in the bottom of the table at Christmas time and we are trying to get them out of the relegation zone. At the current moment we are out of it. We played one game off camera against Wolfsburg and won it 1-0, which helped us just rise ourselves out of that relegation zone a little bit. Sitting in 14th at the moment, but a whole stream of teams around us all on fairly similar points. So we continue to pick up those points if we can, just to continue to rise us up the table a little bit more. So today's opponent is going to be Shalke, who sit in 9th. So it's a reasonable side to be playing after a couple of really tough games against some really high opposition clubs. So I'm hoping for a good performance today. So in terms of the squad of players currently, there's a couple of injuries. Moravec is still out and will be out for another few weeks yet. He's got quite a bad knock. Lichtsteiner is only out for a couple of days, so he drops out of the substitutes area for today's game, the subs bench, should I say. So today's team is going to be pretty much our first 11 side as I would like to play it. And it's Kubek in goal, Jedve at right back, Max at left back, Such Fun and Mavropanos in central defence, Crusoe and the Lena in central midfield with Hahn on the right, Vargas on the left, Just Greg and Vin Bogerson up top with a bench of Udikai, Framberger, Yargo, Kadira, Gibbs White, Diaz, Meyer, Richter and Needy Man. So let's get into today's game and see what happens. So in terms of team talk, I passionately suggested the media have been on their backs for ages now. It's time to show them that they're wrong about them and put in a good performance. It got a lot of motivation from the team, which is positive. Let's hope that they can turn that into a good performance. Schalke are going to be difficult opposition, although they're only mid-table at the moment, so they're not obviously hitting the heights that they could, but they go straight through in the early moments, 50-odd seconds in, and our defence opens up for them, and they just run straight into the centre, into the right-hand side of our penalty box, and put a shot past the goalkeeper. Oh, so disappointing. Kenny on the ball, and where's the challenge? Where's the people putting their bodies on the line trying to stop the run? And it just doesn't come at all. I think that's from Mavropanos on that particular occasion, which is disappointing. And they take a really early lead. Please tell me we're not going to go down without a fight at least. But it's just Greg on the ball on this occasion, but we lose it in midfield and he gains it back again and puts it into Finn Bogerson, who has to hold up the play to get support. And Hahn was on his heels a little bit there and not up where he should have been. And again, Schalke get the ball in that midfield area and come back at us. And so far it's been very concerning, very disappointing. And they get a chance for a cross and they hold up the play. Nice play, really, on that wide right to hold up the play and find Bentaleb and knock it back to him. They had a decent opportunity, but the goalkeeper eventually parries it away for us. First 10 minutes have been very, very hard work for us, though. Let's see if we can get our foot on the ball a little bit. And we went too early then. And tried to go over the top too quickly for Just Greg, and it didn't work. And again, Schalke come back at us. 2-0 down. What do? Do you go defensive because they're all over us and you want to regain your shape, but that's not going to potentially get us into the attacking positions we need to try and get into the game? Or do you try and go attacking early and open yourselves up even more at the back? We're going to go defensive for a while just to see if we can get our foot on the ball and slow the pace down, which is part of our defensive tactic, and see if we can get ourselves into this game. Because if it continues this way, we are in an awful lot of trouble today. Currently 2-0 down, and now's a chance for us. And again, we lose out in that midfield area. It's been a real problem that they're putting themselves on the line far more than we are. They seem to be more bothered about getting the win than we are. And I'm really, really concerned by that. That's disappointing. And they come down the left-hand side, but go centrally again this time. And a long shot goes narrowly wide. I think the goalkeeper just had it covered, but you can never quite be totally sure, can you, really? And look at these ratings from the players. They got 8 point somethings, and we've got hardly anything over our side at all. And a little bit of anxiety creeping into the play as well. Jedve has to go backwards to Such Fun and back into Jedve. They keep the ball at the back, but they get... Oh, no. That was so fortunate that the tame shot at the end of it, but we're just creating our own problems. We're so sloppy in possession of the ball, and it's causing us a real problem. Again, we go down the right-hand side. Jedve back. Don't you dare play about with it. Oh, what are they doing? They're playing about with it too much at the back. And now the goalkeeper has to go long. Fortunately, Vargas gets his foot on that one. Back to Elena. Out wide left to Max. Good chance here. Into Finn Bogerson. And a good save by the goalkeeper. But that was much better. Much more free-flowing. One-touch football. Get the ball moving. Get them chasing the ball, not us. Corner comes in from Elena into the near post, but it's cleared by Shalke, and they get a chance to counter-attack on us. Look at the wide open space he gets to run into. We've got a couple of defenders back now, which is positive, and Max tries his best to get him out, and he does. Well done, Max. A really, really good challenge by our left fullback then, and kept them out of our danger zone and cleared the ball eventually, which is really positive. But again, it's Shalke that come back at us. Again, free-flowing football from them. We've got our banks of 4, and this time it's Elena. And oh, no. What do you do? What do you do when it's all down to sort of personal mistakes and doing silly things like giving penalties away? Great save. Brilliant save by the goalkeeper. But there's only so much you can do as a manager to put these guys on a football pitch and give them some instructions and a way to play. And then they've got to take responsibility for some of that. And they're just not doing it at the moment. Just Greg on the ball gets a chance to hold up the play. And it takes us through to the end of a very, very disappointing first half. Look at these match stats. 22 shots at goal, 11 on target. We've had 3. Our possession stats are down as well. Everything's just not working today at all. So we're going to have to change it up. So if you give me a moment, I'm going to take some time to think about this, and I'll let you know what I decided to do in a second. So I've decided to change shape and style of play and pretty much everything else in between. We've gone to our attacking approach just because we now need to do something in the game, but we're going to do it from a slightly more firmer foundation. We've got central midfield free now. Gibbs White has come in for Finn Bogerson as Lottie comes into the screen to say hi. Hello, everyone. We've brought Gibbs White into midfield. We've taken Finn Bogerson out from the front line just because he wasn't performing well. We've dropped Hahn back into a slightly more deeper role as well to give us some more security down that right-hand side. Vargas and Max down the left-hand side are going to be on their attacking duty to try and keep us moving forward down that left-hand side specifically. But it's something that I've not played before. It's something that we're going to have to try because why wouldn't you? We're 2-0 down against Shalke. So we've got to do something, and this is what we've decided to do. So, Finn Bogerson off, Gibbs White on, change of shape, change of tactic. Let's see whether we can get something from it in the second half and see whether we can get some attacking momentum into our play. But those stats are just terrible, aren't they? 22 shots for them, like 3 for us or whatever it was. I can't even remember now. Not good enough. But here's a chance for us to play the midfield 3 and see whether that works for us. Gibbs White on the ball, takes it into the penalty box to Just Greg, and straight away, a couple of minutes in, we get a goal from it. Just Greg on the end of that good pass through from Gibbs White. So maybe this is the way to go forward. Who knows? We'll see. But such fun on the ball into Gibbs White. He takes his time, which is really nice to see. Drives forward a little bit, then pokes it through to Just Greg, who latches onto the ball really nicely and puts it right-footed into that bottom corner. And we just got a glimmer of hope. Can we keep the shape of it though, and keep them out as much as it is that we can keep ourselves now moving forward? We'll have to wait and see a little bit as this half unfolds. What's happened here? Vargas has picked up a knock, so he's going to have to come off, and Meyer will come on for him. And it's a good opportunity to make the last of our substitutions as well, just while we've got a moment to do so. And the first person that you look at are like Hahn and Elena, both on a 6.3, which is dreadful. Which one of those two do we take off? I think we're going to have to leave Elena on. Creatively wise, he's good for that central midfield area. So we're going to take Hahn off and put Diaz on down that right hand side. He doesn't play that defensive role so well, so we'll put him back in the more offensive way. We'll make him an inverted winger on support and click on the change for that. And so those are the latest substitutions and changes that we've made. Can we finally get something in the last couple of minutes of this game to bring us fully back into the scoreline and make it a draw potentially? It's as good as we can hope for now, I would suggest. But Jedve on the ball, Gibbs White again in midfield, back into Gibbs White, straight into Diaz, and it was a bit of a pot shot, wasn't it really? Too wild and fancy over, and goes sailing over the top of the bar. And not good enough, to say the very least, at this point in the game. And it looks like we are going to suffer another defeat. Ruben Vargas gets injured. We'll have to check on his injury in a second. We created all sorts of problems for ourselves in that first half. Came back into it in the second half. But it just isn't good enough, is it? The assistant manager thinks that we should let the team know that we appreciate their efforts. What do you do? I mean, it's not a great performance, but I guess they came back into it, and I don't want to damage their confidence anymore, so I'll go with that and just see if we can get a boost of confidence from that particular game. We'll come out and go and see what it does to our league position. We're still sitting in 14th, and we have a game in hand over the teams around us, which, you know, will still hopefully help us to steer clear of this relegation zone. But it's down to the wire, isn't it, really? Because it's all so close down there. What's Vargas's injury? 3 to 4 weeks. It's not great, is it, really, to one of our key players just, you know, in the latter part of the season. 3 to 4 weeks now puts us into the sort of the last few games of the season. So that's very disappointing, and something that's really going to hurt us moving forward. What have we got coming up in those 3 or 4 weeks? Most of the games, to be honest, through April. And we've got Mönchengladbach coming up next. The next episode will be Paderborn, followed by the following episode Köln, then Hoffenheim, then Leipzig, are the remaining episodes in this particular series, getting us through to the end. So my one question for you now at the end, for the end of this series, I have decided to continue doing these relegation challenges. I'm not going to stay with Augsburg, but would you prefer me to stay in this particular save and go and shoehorn myself into another team that are a bottom of a league somewhere else, or would you prefer me to start again with a brand new team in their save again at the sort of Christmas sort of mark and see whether we can get them up out of their relegation dilemma as well? Let me know what you think in the comments below, but it's definitely going to be another relegation rescue in another country of some sort, so we'll just have to see where that takes us. But yeah, that'll do it for today. Disappointing. It's very disappointing. I knew it was going to be hard work. There was a reason why Augsburg are down in the bottom area in the first place, and we've discovered why. They're inconsistent, and they're causing their own problems a lot of the time through player behaviour in terms of giving penalties away and losing the ball so cheaply. So it's still going to remain a struggle for us, but we're currently sitting out of the relegation zone at the moment. So let's see if we can keep that going. So that'll do it for today. Thanks very much for joining me. If you enjoyed this particular episode, why not click a like on it for me? If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do that. Helps you keep up to date with the videos that I release and helps me know that there's an audience out there for my content, which is great. But until next time, take care of yourselves. I'll see you very soon, and bye for now.